Hi, my name is Mrs. Bowie, and I'm going to be your art teacher this year. I'm so excited. I am, and for some of you, this will be your very first time in an art class. And art looks differently in the school, but I'm going to read a book to you. For those of you who have never been to an art class, you'll see how art works in this book. And we'll talk a little bit more about what you're going to do today to kind of show your creativity and kind of get our creative muscles working. So, this book is called The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. The Dot. The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. And that's Vashti there. You can see that her paper is blank. And if you look at her facial expressions or her face, she doesn't look very happy. And we're going to find out why. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. Oops. Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it very carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, Now sign it. Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. So when the teacher said sign it, what she's trying to tell her to do is to write her name so that people know who created the art. So Vashti's writing her name on the paper. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. So her teacher thought it was very good, and her teacher put it up so other people could see it. She put it in a frame because she thought it was special. I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A yellow dot, a green dot, a red dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the red. She discovered that she could make a purple dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. So all of her dots were hung up and people came to see them. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw, he said. I bet you can, said Vashti. Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. Show me. The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. So that's the little boy trying. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, Please sign it. So that's the end of our book, The Dot. And what I want you to do is I want you to create a dot. So your dot can be anything that you want it to be. It can be any color you want it to be. It can be as big or as small as you want it to be. And I'm going to show you here. So here's the dot. The dot doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can do your dot with crayons, with pencil, with markers. You can even go outside and create a dot on your sidewalk with sidewalk chalk. So that's completely up to you. And your dot doesn't have to be anything. If you want it to make it a baseball or a basketball or a watermelon, that's completely up to you. So you can do whatever you want. The only thing that I ask you to do is that I want you to try your best. In art, I don't, for me, what I don't need it to be perfect, and it's completely up to you because this is your art. It's your chance to be creative. I'm going to show you some examples of other dots that we have seen in the past. So if you look at this, these are other dots created by kindergartners, and we did this maybe last year. And you can see that all the dots are different. And here, the kids didn't really choose to make them into anything. If you want to make it into something, some other years, some kids made them into emojis. It's completely up to you. So I look forward to seeing all of your dots, and I will try to create a virtual art gallery on my website. We're going to see what the best way is so that I can still show off all of your work because I'm very proud of you. I'm excited to be your teacher. For those of you who don't know me, I hope that we'll be able to see each other in person. For those of you that are returning to Silvercrest, I can't wait to see you again. Eventually, I want to be able to hug all of you, and again, it makes me so happy to see your art. So I'm happy to see your art as well as your faces, and I can't wait to see you when everything is back to normal.